Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. Very happy to be with you today. Whew, it's been a week. It's been a very busy time for me, so I'm going to assume that I never think I'm alone. So I'm sure it's been busy in one way or another for you as well. We don't often step off on Friday afternoon to have a weekend. You know, I was just talking to my producer, said she worked all weekend. We work, most of us, or let me say it like this, most people I know work and work incessantly, work. Often it's joyful work. So, the way that people talk about if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. I'm going to say that's sort of true because I do love what I do, but it still can feel like work. It's, you have to spend your time doing a particular thing rather than, whatever else you might want to be doing. So I don't 100% subscribe to that thinking, even though I find joy in all the things that I do. But not stepping off is something that is not necessarily recommended. Being able to take a pause, being able to be still. Of course, we recommend being still at different points in each day through meditation, through walks, through whatever you can do to kind of commune with yourself and the divine. But as stepping off is important. I think of my Jewish friends who have their pause every week, at the end of the week, and they have a special meal together. And that pause is important in many Black families, especially, and this is not just like many Christian families, but certainly what I remember, like in old school kind of Black families, Sunday dinner was so important. Everybody gathered around for that, and many people came from different places. It wasn't just on holidays, but it was a routine that you come together, you pause, and it's not about work, it's about family, it's about communion, it's about just loving each other. I think this is something for us to reinstate. What is that communion, that fellowship that we can do on a regular basis with each other that can make us feel full, feel that goodness of connection. Hello, Sekou. Good to see you this morning. We have fellowship together here. And when we go out and about, I can say for myself, for sure, when I'm out and I see people I may not have seen for a long time, people where you really do feel like this is a genuine moment of upliftment, of love, of support, that matters. It matters a lot to have that fellowship. And I was at an event just a couple days ago, and I ran into a designer, Quincy, who said, "I'm with you every Monday morning." And it was sweet to know that he's here with us together. And I don't know who all joins. I know those of you who write, I know you're there, but many people join from all these different platforms. And I don't necessarily know that you're there, but it's nice to know that we have this fellowship, and a fellowship of support and upliftment and pausing. So if we are going, there's a pause in there. There's a moment of light. There's a moment of connection that makes the grind worth it, or at least it does for me. I hope it does for you. Somebody was making the point, which I don't know whose quote it is, but the paraphrase is, when you die, it's not gonna say on anybody's tombstone, "I wish I'd worked more." But often it's, wish I had spent more time with my family. I wish I'd gone on my vacations. I wish I'd taken care of my health. Whatever those things are, the I wish, let's think about what that I wish is now and do it now. What can we do for ourselves now? How can we step off and refresh and do something for ourselves now that will be fulfilling now And it may even make a difference moving forward in how we live, how we treat other people, how we treat ourselves. And that indeed is the message for today. Love yourself just the way you are. How many of us do that? There's an exercise that I used to do a few years ago. There was a period when I was doing many, many, many motivational speeches at women's conferences. And one of the exercises that I would do, especially at the end. So this is something for you to take home. So all of you who are connected, and by the way, this is not just for women, but I happen to do them at a lot of women's conferences. So I'm describing something for you to do when you are at home. It is a self-love exercise, which is what today is about. Love yourself just the way you are. All right, so you're in your house by yourself, you and a mirror. If you have a full-length mirror, great, but the fullest length mirror that you have is what you want to stand in front of, you and your mirror. To the best of your ability, you want to see yourself head to toe, and you want to take off all your clothes, everything. Your tops, your underwear, your everything. The only thing you keep on, if you're like me, is your glasses, because it wouldn't work for me because I wouldn't be able to see. But if you don't need to wear glasses, you take those off too, because that's an adornment. You are standing in front of your mirror, looking at yourself naked. Just you and yourself, unadorned. This is not easy to do. And you stand in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eye and say, I love you just the way you are. And then slowly you look at your whole self. You look at your face, every imperfection, every beautiful part, everything. You look at your whole face, you look at your neck, you look at your shoulders, you look at your whole body, your entire body, head to toe, slowly, not fast. Look at yourself, see yourself, and then turn. Turn slowly. And it's good to have a handheld mirror so that when you get to the back, you can look at yourself in the back and see yourself from the side, from the back, head to toe. Whatever you see, tell yourself, I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. You turn, I love you just the way you are. Let me tell you something. Many people have shed real tears doing this exercise because we are so judgmental of ourselves. The if only. I was just talking to somebody the other day who is been out of college for some years, who was saying, when she was in college, she didn't like her body. And now some years later, when the body is different because the body's always changing, she's like, I missed out. I should have loved her. Because look at me now. And the me now, by the way, was fly. But the me now was different from who she was when she was in her 20s. I know. I remember I was the skinniest person, and I did not like that. People teased me about being skinny. It was only when I started modeling, which I was 13 when I started modeling, that I at least sort of began to have a more positive relationship with my physical self, because I just always felt not as developed as other people. And the comparisons will make you nuts, and they do make us nuts. The last thing I was thinking was with clothes off that I felt beautiful. Well, that skinny little one, I wish she came back now. Sort of. Then you gain weight and you're like, what happened? How did that happen? I remember all of the women in my family, when I was lamenting how skinny I was, they were like, that's all right, baby. You don't have to do anything. It's going to come. Don't do anything. It's going to come. Has that ever happened to you? Did your family tell you that? And guess what? Well, I guess I did do something. I lived, I ate, I did whatever. And had a baby and then the body changed. We change. We change. But even more than the change, in the moment, wherever we often are wishing for something else. We're not going, oh, I love you. I love you exactly as you are. I love everything about myself, even the things that I need to work on. And why I started doing that exercise is I learned if you can look at yourself with love rather than shame, it becomes much easier to make whatever adjustments and corrections and improvements that you need to because you're not judging yourself. You're just loving yourself. Oh, I love myself as I am, and I can be healthier, and I can be stronger, and I can be whatever it is that I need to do to improve the vessel that I'm blessed to be living in. When you have that attitude, it makes such a profound difference. Hello, let's see, the light thread. Hello, good morning. Nice to be with you. Um, it makes a huge difference when you can look through a tender gaze at yourself. And for many people, if you're like me, I'm pretty sure I would be called A-type. I'm always striving for what can be the very best for me to do, for me to live, for me to be. And I'm really good at some things and suck at other things. Some things are really, 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 really hard. Oh, honey salon, hey, hey. Um, I, you know, my father in particular taught my sisters and me that excellence was the only option. And that is how I live. I I live by that credo. That puts a lot of pressure on yourself. You have to be excellent at whatever it is you do. So the things that I'm not excellent at are like falling off the cliff. And I realized that's life. That's kind of how it is. Let's see, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you all for writing in and offering some love for this moment. I realize because sometimes when you get to a certain level and you're like, oh, I'm really good at that, but really bad at this, you can be conflicted in your mind and your being of, am I good enough? Am I doing the best? Can I love myself if I'm not winning at whatever this thing is? And that can be tough. It can be really, really, really tough. And so I wonder if this might be true for you, especially right now. So I'll say for me, being in business, this is my 31st year in business. Amazing. Uh, in business in New York City, and I do work all over, but that is an accomplishment. And at the same time, over the last year, it was tough. This anti-DEI fight has been crippling to my business and to so many of my friends who are business owners. And so sometimes I would feel like, oh, what am I doing wrong? You feel kind of diminished when things change. And that's when you have to recognize that you can be great and have greatness at the same time that bad stuff can happen, that not everything is great. And it's okay to accept the greatness when there's tenderness too. So I want to go to the quote because I think it's worth us taking a look at. And the quote I found is, "You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress." It's from Sophia Bush. I want you to think about that. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. Isn't that just a thought filled with grace? You can be incredible. You can be priceless at something that you do. And I bet you, whenever you feel yourself in the groove, you know, it fully inspired, like the light is emanating from you, and whatever you do, it is working. Your creativity, your intensity, your intellect, your strength, whatever it is that is your gift, that it is just flowing and shining. That's you as a masterpiece. And I mean, whatever it is. If what you do is working with your hands, then you build something magnificent. You're painting a wall and it's just perfect. You're telling a story, you're teaching another person something, whatever it is that is your gift. When you're in the flow, that is your masterpiece. That's you living as your masterpiece. And a second later, or maybe even in that same moment, there's a part of you that's not fully formed, that is doubting, that is diminished, that is not excellent. The fact that the two can live at the same time, to me, somehow is relief. Every day that we are alive on the planet, we can work to be our best. And we can understand that there's always something to work toward. That on the one hand, like in my yoga practice, we're taught that we are perfect, not that we're sinners, that we are perfect, but that we can increase and enhance that perfection. I love that idea. And I very much love the idea that you're allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. Doesn't that give you a sense of like you can take a deep breath and exhale and it's okay? That you can go. I remember, I don't know the quote, but I remember Barack Obama making a point that he would go and give a great speech and do whatever it was that he's supposed to be doing. And come home, and Michelle would want him to do something around the house. And he's like, okay, honey. Life has all of these parts. It's not just one. You can be good at one thing, and you have to hold on to the humility because there may be other things that you have to work on, other things you need to refine, other ways that you can be better. And I think that part of this is the wisdom that comes with paying attention. What can you learn from whatever situation you're in and apply to the next so that the next moment could be a masterpiece? Why did I start thinking about all this stuff? Well, I'm about to have a birthday. My birthday is Saturday, and I've been thinking about it, and it's a big birthday. I'm going to be 65 years old. I cannot believe that. It's amazing. Like, what? But it's true. And I was texting with the amazing actor, Andre DeShields. I don't know if you all know him, but he's incredible. And I was texting with him about my birthday. And he said, well, welcome to the world of senior citizenship. And I'm like, oh, it is true. But hearing it, reading it means something else. And so I said, well, thank you. You wear it well. And he wrote back and he said, look, honey, I've already reached 80. To me, you're a whippersnapper. And I laughed and appreciated it. It's all perspective, right? But I come from a family of elders. My grandmother lived to be 101 years old. My mother just passed, was 95 years old. There are a lot of elders in our world. So the notion of getting older comes with honor and comes with the understanding that there's wisdom. Also, though, you get wisdom by doing the work, because there are people that I know who are of whatever age and who are stuck. and they're saying the same thing they said 20 years ago, and whatever lesson they possibly should have learned doesn't seem like they've learned because they're stuck on whatever it is their thing. What we're trying to do here through inspiration, through everything that we can to connect to the inner core and flow forward is to pay attention and learn, to access that inner wisdom, to reflect so you can figure out, okay, what can I learn from whatever that situation is? What happened that was good, that was not good, that can be done differently, and then how can I apply it? I looked at a lot of quotes about wisdom and acceptance and aging. So if you have a few minutes and you want to go down that, uh, I I recommend that you consider it because you will see what many others have had to say about this. But the biggest takeaway for me was accepting yourself as you are in the moment, accepting others as they are in the moment, forgiving people for not being perfect or for not presenting in the best possible way in the moment, and drawing upon your awareness and knowledge that comes with all of the years that you have on the planet so that you can make smart decisions. Like, you don't have to react to everything. Sometimes you can see something and go, okay, I can let that go. Sometimes you can't let it go. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself and make a statement. We talk about this a lot here on Inspiration, and also with my team, we talk about this a lot. How to and when to speak up, how to and when to let it go, how to let it go, because that can be the hardest part. Because if you hold on to whatever feelings and memories and um, hurts in particular, it can cripple you while the other person is oblivious. So the process of being able to love yourself as you are has a lot of release in it. What all do you need to say goodbye, let go of this, let go of that, be still. So I feel like now would be a great time for us to do a little mini meditation. You want to do that? Let's do it. Um, that's so it's just going to be about three or 4 minutes. Put your feet flat on the floor, sit up straight, have your shoulders back but relaxed. And Fallon, if we can put on any music, I know I didn't tell you we were going to do this, but if we can, let's try. And then what I want you to do, everybody, stay with me. Have your hands with your thumbs and forefingers on your knees. And if you like, you can close your eyes. And just breathe naturally, but fully. Breathe in and breathe out. Just breathe naturally. Allow yourself to just be. Be in this moment. Be here now. Allow yourself to just be still and to feel your whole being. Keep breathing. Give yourself permission to be present. You deserve just a few minutes of inner work, of silence in your being. Allow yourself to be still. And as you sit with yourself and you breathe in light. Like literally, when you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing light into your body. And then hold it and let all that light be in your body. And then very slowly exhale. And exhale out any discomfort that may be in your body. And again, breathe in light. Exhale darkness, discomfort, pain. If there's any part of your body that has pain, breathe into it and invite the light to fill it and heal it. As you're breathing and allowing your mind to be still, tell yourself, I love you just the way you are. You know that John Legend song, with all your imperfections? Whatever it is that you like about yourself, that you go, oh, I can fix that. Just love it anyway. Love you for you. Love you despite what anybody else has to say. But most important, despite what your doubts may be. Just offer love. Love for you, love for this moment in time, appreciation for taking the time out to love yourself right now. Allow yourself to be filled with light, to be filled with love for you. Truly, no matter what you are facing, no matter what pains you may have, no matter what challenges you may have, no matter what, fill your being with love. Love and gratitude for being present, for being here now, for accepting yourself for who you are, for loving yourself for who you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. Smile into it. I love you just the way you are. Now gently open your eyes. How do you feel? For me, that smile came naturally. It just came on my face like, oh, I need to remember. I am so grateful for today. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful for you, for my family, for my friends, for really feeling that hug. You know, I have a close friend, Rashid, who has, at the end of his message, he says, give yourself a hug. Do it. Give yourself a hug. The best hug is the one you give yourself. I know we don't think that. We are so out there trying to get that hug from somebody else. Please love me. Please appreciate me. Please support me. Love yourself. Love yourself. And then you can offer that great hug and you can receive that great hug without being needy, but simply with gratitude. It's so much better to offer and receive with gratitude than with desperation. Give yourself a hug. Love yourself just the way you are. Offer that pure love to others. And then the circle goes round and round and round. And it's so sweet. And it's so powerful. And it's healing. It's restorative. And when the negative thoughts come, when the doubting thoughts come, when the diminished thoughts come, you know, when the work in progress seems like you're starting from scratch, it's okay. Love yourself just the way you are. You're building from the beginning, it's okay. You're building it again and again, it's okay. Do it with love, self-love, and love for others. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that as you go out into this day, you will remember to love yourself just the way you are. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.